Ashley Storrie on BBC Radio Scotland.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
That was Otis Redding and Carla Thomas with New Year's Resolution. You're listening to Ashley Storrie on BBC Radio Scotland live from Pacific Way, joined as always by sidekick Silent Paul. It's the last show that we're doing of 2023. We'll be back next year with a whole new format. Everything's changing. We're going to be zingy. We're going to be zany.
Wait, what?
No. We're going to be so profesh. We're going to have 7 segments every episode and a lot less talking and a lot more songs. Only joking. That would be a nightmare. Me and my dad, when we were driving here, because he doesn't listen to this station, he listens to a more commercial radio station, and he was like, "It's a shame you don't get a wee job on this commercial radio station I listen to." And I was like, "I couldn't do the adverts, Dad. I couldn't. I'd get bored. I'd walk away halfway through. You know, as soon as it's news time, I have to go on a walk because I can't sit still. You know I do. I have to go a wee walk and come back." Well, you deal with
grumble
everything.
about people who work here while looking at me.
I don't like it when they look at me.
They were looking at me, Paul. I'm like, they work here.
But what they're doing here, it's night time. This is our
Their
time.
job.
Well, I don't like it because I like to wander about and look through the cookie cupboards that aren't mine. I like to have a look in the newsroom's cupboards and see what biscuits they've got.
Looking at all, I see you looking inside all the cups to see which one's got the most inbuilt flavour.
Yes, it's called seasoning, Paul. I like to have a rummage. It's like as soon as I go into somebody's house, I have to look through their medicine cabinet. I just can't stop myself.
Don't have Ashley in your house.
No, that's why I don't have any friends. We've got lots of questions. We've got lots of messages coming, Paul, over the news there. You'll be excited to hear via text, WhatsApp and email. We've got a wee message from Mrs. Harris, our friend, who says, "Hi Ashley and Paul, first of all, I'm wishing you both and your families a great new year. I'm quite happy to be all by myself for Christmas in Hogmanay. My husband is visiting relatives in Switzerland. Peace and quiet," says Mrs. Harris. Enjoy your peace and quiet, Mrs. Harris, and I'm so happy to hear from you. We've got a message from our friends, Robson and Emily in Edinburgh. Sorry, who say, "It's Robson and Emily in Edinburgh." Oh no. First of all, Ashley, get well soon. Thank you so much.
Very apt.
Very apt. Nothing for New Year's resolutions, but you have us being tour guides for Kevin, Sharon and Miranda. We suggest walking down the various closes in or around the Royal Mile. Exactly, that's what I was trying to say when I got distracted by, did you know that all their dead people are under there? Go to the Old Town, up and down the Royal Mile. There's all these little nooks and crannies and little like paths into the most beautiful, wonderful. And don't go, listen to me, don't go right up the Royal Mile towards the castle. See down the other side of the Royal Mile, the fudge shop and tartan side of the Royal Mile. There are some closes that you go down and you're suddenly in like a fairy tale. It's obscene. You come out of a shop that sells fake bagpipes and aprons with Highland cues on them. You walk down an alley and suddenly you're in the medieval days. You need to talk quickly.
Well, they suggest that. They also say visit the Christmas shop there too, which is on the Royal Mile. Open all year round. Other Christmas shops are probably available. And if you like walks, have a look at the Innocent Railway or St Mark's Park.
I'm so sorry.
Can I put you back up now? The zoo is also fantastic. I went to the zoo recently. It's a lot of walking. Don't go if you're not fit. For some reason, they've built the zoo on an incline.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Put me up now.
yeah.
Yeah, they've built a zoo.
On an incline that's like the Travelator from Gladiators.
Oh, I love that.
No, it's not. It's like 90 degrees almost.
Do you know one of the first things I ever wrote for BBC Scotland was about the penguins? I wrote a script where it was the penguins protesting the pandas because they were getting too much attention, and it was Tommy Sheridan as a penguin going, "Brothers and sisters, we need to unite against these pandas." And they played it on the afternoon show. I was like 19. I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever
Excellent.
written. So yes, love Edinburgh Zoo. Go for it.
The Grassmarket area near the castle has a great selection of Scottish pubs and a traditional sweet shop. Nothing better than a traditional sweet shop.
Beg to differ.
You don't think so? I love traditional sweet shops.
I'm always wary of sweet shops.
Why?
My family were always using them as money laundering fronts.
I'm not worried about where the money's going. I just want the peanut brittle.
I'm just telling you that when I go in them, I'm always like, "Aye, what's the real deal here?"
Well, do you know what? If there's any traditional sweet shops in Edinburgh, Ashley is not casting that aspersion on you.
No,
You're
not
going
at
to know,
all.
Yeah. So there is also a cat cafe there, if that's your thing.
There's also like 9,000 fudge shops.
People like fudge.
Just an obscene amount of fudge. It's just posh tablet. I don't
Doesn't
get
matter,
it.
but people like it.
Do you like fudge though?
No, I'd eat tablet before I eat fudge.
I'd 100.
Get some. Kevin, Sharon, and Miranda, get some tablet. Good tablet.
Good. Right, no, we need to be clearer on this because if they walk up to be like, "Hey, do you have any tablets?" This is going to end
Yeah,
badly.
not at Edinburgh Street Party.
Don't go to anybody.
Go to like a sweet shop.
Find a nana.
A sweet shop.
Yes.
And then go in and then say, "Do you have any traditional tablet?"
Yes.
Then they will know what you're talking about. It's essentially just condensed milk and sugar,
It's overcooked fudge.
but it'll crumble in your mouth.
Oh, it's so good.
It'll just melt. Fantastic. You can only eat so much of
No,
it,
you can have like a crumb of it
and then it's like,
and then you're done for.
yeah.
But I prefer it to fudge. What's your favourite thing in Edinburgh? What's that face?
It doesn't do it for me.
The dungeon?
No, I don't care.
There used to be it's not there anymore on Cockburn Street, that was like a baked potato shop. And it was the best baked potato shop.
Unfortunately, the only time that I've ever been to Edinburgh is during the periods of time that you don't want to go there, and it's usually festivals times.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a television festival or the Fringe.
Yeah, they all happen at the same time, Paul.
Yeah. That's the only time I've ever been.
The
so
book
it's just
festival, the
stress.
film festival, the television
Stress.
festival, and the fringe festival all overlap.
Been to them all, just nothing but stress.
I also have never been to the fringe to Edinburgh when it's not festival time. I can't think of another time I've been there, but I still think it's possibly one of the most picturesque and beautiful places in the world, and it did used to have the best baked potatoes I've ever eaten in my entire life. Vegan cheese and pineapple, Paul.
Oh no, shut.
I just can't help myself. Here's the 4 tops. That was the 4 tops with I Can't Help Myself. Paul, put your mic up because we need to talk about something. Never mind the messages just now. Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
Yes.
It's
Explain for the listeners.
the Mandela effect is like a mass misremembering. Like we all remember something different than how it actually was. A great example is that people seem to remember the stand-up comedian Sinbad being in a version of a genie film called Shazam.
Which was actually Shaquille O'Neal.
Wasn't him, but everybody remembers Sinbad. Well, some people do. Anyway, there's loads of examples of it, and I've never truly felt it. There's sometimes I'm kind of like, oh yeah, maybe. But today, mind blown. Let me ask you a very simple question, Paul. Do you remember Fruit of the Loom?
Yeah.
Other underwear brands are available. What was the label for Fruit of the Loom?
A little bowl of fruit.
There was no bowl, Paul. There was no receptacle. In my head, I distinctly remember a horn of plenty, like a cornucopia,
Right, so some sort of...
like a horn
Something that holds it, yeah.
filled with fruit. No, didn't
Is
exist.
it not like as a laurel?
Nope, just fruit. Paul, I remember it being a cornucopia because I remember that's how I learned the word cornucopia. I don't know.
And it never was.
There is a resolute band of sleuths on the internet who are convinced that Fruit of the Loom, who have said, no, never had a bowl, never had a cornucopia, who have said, no, we remember this like this. We remember it. That's how I learned the word cornucopia. A horn of plenty, filled with fruit. Like a like a horn with fruit coming out of it. So this is where it's got to. Just this online debate over people remembering the fruit of the loom thing differently. This woman has said, fine, if you never had that in your picture, she has printed what we all remember to be the fruit of the loom emblem and said, if this was never your emblem, this was never your signature, then you can't sue me if I make jumpers with this on it and sell them.
Yeah.
So that's where we've got to on the mass gaslighting of people misremembering the fruit of the loom label. Because I can see it in my head. And they're saying that's not true, Paul. They're saying that's never been their label. What do you think of that?
I think some people need to learn to pick their battles.
I think that when the Large Hadron Collider got tested, I got pushed into a universe
No, you did
where
not.
the fruit of the loom never had a cornucopia.
You didn't, but why would... No, so we all did.
Some people, well, there'll be people listening who are like, I don't know what you're talking about, Ashley. I just remember fruit on fruit of the loom. And they people are meant to be in this universe. I'm not supposed to be here.
I think that's just us assuming that you wouldn't have loose fruit.
Paul, I grew up in the East End. All of my fruit was loose. Okay? We never had a fruit bowl. That was for rich people. So
What did you do with your fruit?
just left it on the counter.
No, you didn't
Well, I
have
did.
a fruit bowl.
Oh, well, look at you, Mr. Fruit Bowl. Did you also have multiple loaves of bread in your house per day? Pff, check you with your special receptacle for fruit. That's a waste of a bowl. My point being, I'm in the wrong universe. I'm supposed
You're
to be
in the wrong something, but I don't know what it is.
in the universe with a cornucopia. Get in touch via text 80295. What do you remember the fruit of the loom label looking like?
I can't believe you derailed this whole show for that. Like, you literally were quivering with excitement to talk to me about.
To be fair, Paul, I have been alone in my room sweating for 3 days. This is the first time I've been allowed to talk to
It
anybody.
does feel like it's the ramblings from a fever dream that you've had.
Except it wasn't a fever dream. I went on Snopes, Paul, because I was so disbelieving.
Other websites that prove or disprove thoughts are available.
Snopes said Fruit of the Loom never had a cornucopia, nor a bowl, nor a receptacle. So, proven, disproven. Get in touch. Let me know. What are they trying to do to us? What is this?
Mark's been in touch on the texts.
The truth is out there.
No, let's get professional. What?
The truth is out there. I was just doing a wee X-Files joke. It's fine. Calm down,
You
Scully.
stop using this platform.
I'm going to find the truth. That's our next big podcast, Paul.
What?
The cornucopia mystery. I've said that word so many times, I don't know if it's a
It's
real
too
word
many.
anymore.
Mark's been in touch.
What's Mark
He
said?
said, "Hi, Ashley and Silent Paul. Cutting back on social media and spending more family time is his resolution.
Good resolution. I deleted my Twitter this year. Won't call it by its new name. Best thing I've ever done.
Of course, to stop going stir crazy, text messaging his favourite radio show is a must.
Oh, I'm sure Tam and Stuart will be happy. Is it us?
Is us? Yeah. How about you two? What's yours? Well, we've said ours earlier on. Ashley's is now going to be about a fruit brand. A brand of clothing that had fruit and finding out whether it was in a bowl or not.
Carmen from Jimbooba says she remembers it the same as me. She remembers.
But I'd said it as well, but it's not that big a deal.
Why
We're
do you
just
not
wrong.
think that's a big deal, Paul? Your memory is being questioned by a conglomerate. That's insane. That's how the Terminator started. I feel like Sarah Connor.
I don't think
I
any
feel
of this is true.
like Sarah Connor in the second film when she could do chin-ups.
Well,
That's how I feel.
thanks to Mark for his message. We also had a message from Sean, the delivery driver.
Sean, the delivery driver, is back with his pound for the buggy. Or a fruit machine. Fruit of the loom. Coincidence, I think. No.
Stop making me the professional one.
Ashley, what made you want to learn Korean? I'm a big fan of Korean dramas because they're really exciting and they don't really care about sensibilities. And like here in the UK, when there's like things you have to signpost and scripts you have to write, and in South Korea, when they make dramas, they just throw that out the window and have fun. I once watched 28 episodes about a nun who goes undercover in a boy band to cover for her brother who was in that boy band. And her name's Gomi Nam, which means pretty hot guy. And she has to pretend to be a boy, and then all of the boy band members fall in love with her, and it was one of the best things I've ever watched. I also watched a thing about a lady who fell in a puddle and went back in time. Like, I love it. So that's why I wanted to learn Korean. And I can say, 오늘은 여기까지, 안녕, which means, till next time, goodbye. Which is... And 감사합니다, which means thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, that's why I learned that. He said, perhaps you might get... Oh, what's the...
He's talking about his pound for the jukebox.
Uh-huh.
He says you might get lucky and find yourself.
On Baker Street. Here it is.